Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is the King of Hell speaking, but of course, Lucifer, also known as King the Conqueror, also known as the High Evolutionary. So, anyways, man, if it's your first time joining my channel, welcome. Or welcome because I wasn't there for a couple of days. Spirit is telling me to relax, sit back and relax, go do your little stream thing because we're busy doing something for you right now. So that's what I'm doing. I don't know what it is, but they're doing something. They're cooking up something. I don't know what it is. And apparently I've been like, everything I try to do is kind of like repelling me. So I'm kind of like, I don't have a choice but to like sit there and do nothing for a second, briefly, not for a long time. So anyways, man, today was I was kind of blasé. Today I was a little bit blasé. And apparently today is J.S. Garrett Day. And I have no problem with it. I have no problem with that. It was entertaining. It was fun. There was some two good interviews. I like both interviews. It was a live that just finished, and then there was another interview that was good too. I don't have any problem with it. But you know me. I have to have an opinion and I have to have an objection for some reason, somehow. Now, mind you, I am not going to be a dick about this, but I will express my opinion, and I do hope that people understand. And if you don't understand, well, I'm pretty sure you're going to try and curse me, so whatever. And I'm going to curse you back, and I'm going to destroy you, and then you're going to say I'm sorry, or you're not going to say shit at all, and then you so on and so on, whatnot and whatnot, and so whatever. I'm not targeting anybody specific. I'm just saying there's some people out there that get offended very easily. I'm not saying J.S. Garrett is going to do that. I'm just saying there's some people out there that listen to other people, what they say, and they go off on their own, without anybody's approval or suggestion, and they fucking throw curses at you. So anyways, in retrospect, I'm not gonna retrospect everything that was said. I think everything that was said was fine, and it was it was fine, and I have no opinion about that. But I do have an objection, and my objection is on the subject of Lucifer and some rituals. Mind you, there are some rituals where sacrifice is needed. There are some rituals that, sacrifice is needed. Especially if you're trying to do a high level magic, sacrifice is needed, would be needed. It's not every time, though. You can practice, I practice high magic, and I don't sacrifice animals. And the thing about Lucifer is that the common misconception of the devil is that the devil likes creepy crawlies and maggots and stuff, which is interesting. And I shit you not, you might not want to believe me. It's okay, it's fine. You don't know who I am. I might be bullshitting, yada yada yada, blah blah blah, but I'm still gonna say what I'm gonna say regardless of your belief. When I first started wanting to work, when I first started wanting to become a demon, because I wasn't working with Lucifer per se, but I had taken a choice to delve deeper in demonology. I was practicing. I lived by myself. I lived by myself and I was reading books. I used to go to the library every fucking day because that was the only thing to do in the town that I lived at. There was nothing else. You know, I used to go. There was like a $2 cinema and a library and a kind of like a casino. It wasn't really a casino. They didn't call it a casino, but it was kind of a casino. Anyway, so whatever. So those are the only three things that you could do there. Either you go to the $2 cinema, you go to casino, or you go to the library. And a lot of people went to the fucking library because it was in front of a park, and that's basically where everybody used to meet up. So even if you wasn't going at the library, you were gonna see somebody that you know. You're gonna meet up somebody that you know, not even on purpose. It just happens. That's just where everybody goes. So I used to go to the library a lot. So anyways, I was reading a lot. I was by myself, and I was practicing magic. And but I have to admit, with all my great boasts in broad knowledge, I was just like you. I taught, and I'm not talking about J.S. Garrett, I'm talking about the general masses. I was just like everybody else in the general masses. I had preconceptions, notions, pre-notions, or notions of what the devil was, or who the devil was, and what he liked and what he didn't like. And it was all based off of movies and books. Period. So in my head, I was kind of like, I never hated insects per se, but I have a love-hate relationship with insects. Like sometimes I love them and sometimes I don't, or something. 'Cause the problem is peer pressure, right? The problem is peer pressure, and I don't really care about the peer pressure, but sometimes I don't want to look like that guy. You know, I give into peer pressure. I give into society's norms, and I tend to, like, you know, but to me, life is important, you know? So I kind of like ignore my love for insects. Right? Even though I love them, I act like I don't love them, and I just ignore them because I want to look like everybody else, right? So with that said, regardless, anyways, in my head, I was kind of like, oh, well, you know, Lucifer loves this. I had a ladybug. It was peculiar because she was yellow. Well, I don't know if it was a she, but I had a ladybug. It was a yellow ladybug, and I like put her in a aquarium for insects and stuff. You know, I had a ladybug. That was my only friend when I was living in there. But it's a pretty insect though, a ladybug, and it was yellow. It wasn't red. It was a yellow and black dot ladybug, right? So, you know, I had that, and I would feed it like vegetables and shit like that. It died anyway. So, in the notion of my proceedings to like taking actions towards the left-hand path, I thought I had an advantage, and I thought that if I would make myself more acquainted to creepy crawlers, that would attract the spirit towards me more, right? It would show my devotion towards it, until one day, and it did happen, kind of. There was like, it worked, but it didn't work at the same time. Like, it worked, like I was like sitting on the floor, and like this fucking centipede just ran across my fucking face and shit. And it didn't like, it didn't scare me, but it ran across my face and it disappeared. Like, it was actually like a centipede. It like literally ran across my face, and then I couldn't find it anywhere. It just like disappeared into the void. But the thing is, I don't think that was Lucifer. I think somebody was trying to scare me off of the track of demonology. Because one day Lucifer came to me because I was picking up bugs. I was trying to play with bugs, and one day Lucifer came to me. He said, "I don't like insects," and I was kind of like, "What do you mean?" Like, you're the devil. Of course you like insects, man. Come on, take the insects. He's like, "I don't like insects. I'm not an insect kind of guy," and that was peculiar. I found that very weird. So, and I can't say that there's like a bunch of things that I don't know about Lucifer, but there's obviously things that I don't know about Lucifer, obviously. But, I've grown to learn a lot about him, especially recently. So, and I don't necessarily like to talk about these things because I don't want the reputation, or I don't want people to think that it's not what it is just because, just because Lucifer doesn't like insects, that doesn't mean that he's not pure terror itself. Just because I don't believe in sacrifice, that doesn't mean that he's not the king of hell. I don't want people to think like I don't like to have these specific kinds of notions, because because of human conception and programs that has been implemented, everything already has a meaning before you even say it. So if I line up the fact that Lucifer doesn't want blood, or doesn't want sacrifices, or doesn't want insects, that kind of push you towards, it's like when I started doing these YouTube videos, the way that I talk, a lot of people are now saying, "Oh, Lucifer is Jesus," because of the personal feelings I have against pedophiles or rapists or the Illuminati as a whole, right? So because I'm against Illuminati, that the people, that automatically means I'm with God, which isn't the case. As a matter of fact, I consider God my enemy. I don't consider him my friend. I consider him as he's my mortal enemy. He's like a mortal enemy. He's a rival, an entity that I have to, go balls to the wall to destroy. That's how I see it. But because people already made their minds up on what is a demon and what is God, there is no place for, not, the word I'm looking for is not discernment, but there's no place for fluctuation, right? There's no place for discovery. They already put a limitation on Lucifer as of, he's a demon, he's scary, he likes bugs, he likes blood, he likes sacrifice. So there's no chance for Lucifer to actually show himself to you, because you already put him in a box, even though you don't know who he really is, because all those things come from movies and books, or even schools. There's not, in society, the notion of the devil is not a notion of, oh, he's this cool jazz playing, James Bond looking ass, ninja assassin ass dude. No, he's evil, he's ugly, he has a tail, pardon my language, he has a tail, he's scary, he'll terrify, well, he does actually have a tail, but, and I wouldn't say ugly, but he is a fucking dragon, like he's half man, half dragon, so he's a humanoid dragon-like looking guy, but that's one of his forms, That's not the only form. He can look handsome if he wants to. If he chooses, you can see him on. He can show up to you in a handsome figure or his draconic form, right? But because of those notions, draconic, black, dragon, darkness, evil, bad, creepy crawlers, bloodshed, murder. That's how we think. That's how like humanity thinks. That's how we see things. It's very black and white. We see things very black and white, and you have to understand that these notions, like I said in my last video, was given to us. It is not what we actually know. We don't know who Lucifer is, and we don't know who God is. Not really. We don't really actually go to, we don't take the time, because yes, we do go to them, but we don't actually take the time to analyze the entity like you analyze, like when you're painting a picture, when you're painting a portrait, you're going to look at somebody like for an hour. And you're going to look at every little inch of that person's face in order to paint the portrait. And preconceived notions does not let you paint a perfect portrait because it's a preconceived notion. So you have to understand, when you're painting a portrait using a preconceived notion, you're not painting what's in front of you. You're painting a facet that is layered in front of what you are trying to paint. So, mind you that I've said all this gibberish, there are some rituals that do require sacrifice. But at the same time, I love animals. I love animals, and it's like the notion, Lucifer is not a vampire. He's a werewolf. And werewolves can, Lucifer, do not punish me for saying this, please. Yeah, I'm about to say a secret. Just please don't punish me, please. Werewolves are the natural guardians of nature. Just like a vampire takes his power from ethereal darkness, werewolves actually take power from nature. Mind you, the devil's playground is the forest. So he's more energetically linked to animals than he is energetically linked to insects. No pun intended, no offense meant. Whatever that means. So Lucifer is actually more of a guardian of the forest, like Pan. Pan is another archetype entity of Satan, Lucifer, who is also a guardian of the forest, a spirit of the forest, a wisp, a will-o'-the-wisp. Nymphs, fairies. These are all demons. Like there's certain books, there's in the kids' books, will-o'-the-wisp and fairies are seen as cute little things. But if you read adult books, the will-o'-the-wisps and nymphs and fairies are fucking evil. They'll tear you apart, you know, like they'll fucking eat you and shit. Like they're fucking scary creatures. So, you know, like, anyways, I'm just trying to make connections here. where connections are not supposed to be made. Apparently, allegedly. Yes, I'm talking shit. Because I know that I just said something that I probably wasn't supposed to say. So that's why I'm trying to shake you. I'm trying to I'm trying to lose you. I'm trying to shake and bake you right here. Anyway, so I'm juking. I'm not joking. I'm juking. So it's not that serious. I just don't. I just don't believe in animal sacrifices. I don't believe in animal sacrifices, or bloodletting can be strong. Bloodletting can be strong, but the strongest. Bloodletting is weird, man. Bloodletting is weird because there's some rituals. If you do bloodletting, it is going to be powerful. But then again, the most powerful spells don't require any bloodletting. So it's I don't know. It's weird. I think it's mostly situational. In the case of bloodletting and sacrifices, it's I would say it's situational. I don't think it's not a everyday ritual thing, And you have, in my experience, I guess you would have to wait until the spirit tells you to give them a sacrifice instead of you doing a sacrifice right away, right off the bat. Because it's very situational. Because like I said, there's very powerful spells that you can do. It's like there's a pedo. I'm saying this for J.S. Garrett because J.S. Garrett loves this, and it's not just J.S. Garrett. Bruce, not Bruce. B.D. Shepard. He likes that shit too. They like attacking pedos, and so I did a thing, and I know this pedo, and I didn't want to say this, on YouTube because I don't want to get flagged. Because, like I said, I already got 2 flags and shit. But I know you guys don't. You guys like strong people. You don't like a weak pacifist, fucking hippies, communist hippies, fucking commies. No offense, no pun intended, right? So I'm going to say this once, and I hope I don't get flagged, which I probably will. But if I do get flagged and this is my last strike, well, at least I have another channel. So it's not that big of a deal. That is currently talking about the Illuminati and the P2 Lodge and the court cases that are pending. I haven't checked out who got arrested yet, but as of last year, there was still some court cases being done on the P2 Lodge and their bullshittery. Those are the people that killed the Pope. So that's what, and the last video that I made on my last channel was about that fat guy, that movie producer that apparently keeps fucking sexually harassing women and shit. So those are my last videos on the other channel. And I'll pick up on that channel. If this channel hangs up, then I'll just pick up on that channel. So yeah, it's not that serious. It's not that serious. It's just, I just don't. I believe it's like I said earlier. My belief is that these practices that we have stem from human preconceived notions of black and white, and right is wrong, and right is right and wrong is wrong, and good versus evil, darkness versus light, blah 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 blah. But at the end of the day, that's not how that shit works. And I'm not saying J.S. Garrett doesn't know that, because he practices baneful magic, so he understands this on a specific kind of notion. And I think they even did. Yes, they did. Actually, he talked about this today. You have to understand that Black is not just necessarily black and white is not just necessarily white, but it's easy to see an angel and see fucking divinity and blah 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 blah, and nobody's willing to accept, even if nobody, I don't, it's very rare that you, as nowadays, because we're too far gone, it would be very rare of an occurrence to meet a man that you put in front of an angel that looks like a complete freaking monster, and he would be like, that's an angel. His first reaction would be like, that's a fucking demon, get away from me, you horrible creature. And even if that angel would plead his case to that man, trying to reassure him that he is an angel, that person will not believe that because of what? Preconceived notions. Because we are born of this world and not out of it. We grew up with these lessons. We grew up with these notions, these identities, these things. Like, tell yourself this. I mean, like, do we dress the same that we did back in the Renaissance era? No, absolutely not. And do we dress the same as back in the 60s or the 20s or the 40s? Absolutely not. People change, and new ways of thinking and new forms are being created, but it's not individual. Those fashion statements, those new fashion mindsets, for lack of better words, are not individualistic. These things are not individualistic. These things come from a group. If we were a more individualistic society, we would not change that much, because there wouldn't have been any form of change in the first place. We would have remained the same throughout history. Maybe the clothes would have changed because of, well, efficiency, right? But you can't say, right, today we might dress efficiently per se, but there was nothing wrong with how people used to dress back in the 70s, apart from the colors and the big elephant pants. People used to wear jeans back then too, like, so there's certain things that we as a group accept and are thrown in because they were already there. So if you were born in the 70s, people looked a certain way in the 70s because that's how everybody decided to look. And you didn't create the 70s. You didn't create the style of the 70s. You were born in the 70s. It's not like when you were born, the earth changed because of your birth. No, you changed for the civilization, not the earth, more or less speaking. But that's another story for another day that probably will never come up again, because that's pretty fucking deep. But anyways, you're born into the 70s, right? The world didn't change because, oh shit, man, Seth is coming, Lucifer's coming, man. We gotta wear our hair like this because that's how he likes. We gotta put this. We gotta. That's not how the world works. You are born into it. Everything was already made before you got here. So, of course, growing up, I thought Lucifer liked insects. And it's only from doing this path working that I realized that Lucifer does not like insects. Of course, there's some insects that have more of a important spiritual meaning behind it, but apart from that, not really. He doesn't really like insects. And you would think that they would love someone to bloodlet. Because mind you have to understand, like, I sound like a goody two shoes. I sound like a fucking goody two shoes in the Dr. Feelgood, but this comes from experience. This comes from, like, me actually trying to do the same shit that I've seen in the books and in the fucking movies and getting a negative response from it. You see, the thing is, it's not like bloodletting is not good. What Lucifer was trying to tell me is that I don't need to. It's not that sacrifices aren't good. He's saying you don't need to. Actually, he feels that it's a little bit dépassé. He's kind of tired of it, to be quite honest. He's a little bit, because it makes him look primitive. He doesn't like that. It's not like he doesn't appreciate your sacrifice. It's not that he doesn't appreciate the sacrifice. It feels cliche. You know, I know I'm using euphemisms here, but that's how he feels. That's honestly how he feels. He does feel like it's a bit cliche. It's a little bit, meh. It's like, but that doesn't mean that you won't have to do it from time to time, depending on what you're trying to do. Right? But of course, I could be just a crazy guy, a crazy person, and all of this is just my fucking opinion. Even though I'm pretty sure that nobody thinks I'm fucking crazy at this point. And if you do think I'm crazy, it's because probably you're fucking crazy. But, but anyways, man. And everybody's a little bit crazy anyways. And who's to say what the fuck crazy is? Even doctors nowadays can't fucking say to somebody that they're crazy, because no one knows what being crazy is. Even though we're all crazy, but nobody can explain what crazy. Anyways, whatever. Shit is weird. So I'm saying this, and I don't know if I sounded arrogant or insulting or anything of that sort. If I did, my bad. That wasn't the point. Maybe I over explained myself there, but I felt like I needed to put some context to not sound like a complete jackass. So yeah, that's my opinion. That's how I feel. I feel that that's the part where I'm kind of meh. The whole killing. I love skunks. Skunks are beautiful. Skunks are connected to Lilith, by the way. Skunks are related to Lilith. Birds too. Birds are related to Lilith, and skunks are related to Lilith. That doesn't mean that you don't need to sacrifice a bird from time to time. But you have to understand that skunks are a very lucky and very powerful animal creature. And like I said, if you're into that werewolf energy, if you're a Luciferian, because a lot of Luciferian knows that they're not vampires. A lot of Luciferian knows that they are werewolves and not vampires, and vampires is their mortal enemies and whatnots. You have to understand that nature is the source of your power. The same amount of, and werewolves are very powerful, very powerful entities. Werewolves are very powerful entities, just like vampires. It's just their the place is like vampire energy is purple and werewolf energy is green. But werewolves can attract women too. You know, just like they have charm powers too. They have shape shifting powers, charm powers. They can evoke. They can evoke entities just like a master vampire. Master vampires can evoke entities. Blah 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 blah. They have the same power set, more or less. It's like, to be honest, it's you can't. There's a lot of types of human out here, and even you, if you're not aware of all of these things, you don't know if you're a vampire or a werewolf. Like, I have fangs, right? Like, I have big fangs. In my head, I'm a vampire, right? And I am a vampire. I'm a hybrid. I'm a vampire and a werewolf. You know, I'm a hybrid, you know. But I have fangs, and a lot of people have fangs. And people that have fangs have a tendency to be more inclined into feeling like they're vampires. Like, we make jokes. Like, you go to school, preconceived notions. You go to school, the kids see that you have fangs. They make jokes about your big fangs, and you're like, yeah, I'm a vampire. And everybody starts laughing. Blah 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 blah. Right? But one thing you don't hear, the first thing that doesn't come to mind is, yeah, I'm a werewolf. No, if you see somebody that have big fangs, you're gonna be like, you're a vampire. You know, you're not gonna say you're a werewolf and everybody's gonna start laughing. No, actually, it's gonna sound weird. It's gonna sound awkward, kind of, not really, but it's not the first. It's not your first reaction. The first words, the first thing that comes to mind when you see fangs is vampire. Right? It's not werewolf, right? Some people get called werewolf, but the people that get called werewolf is because of their physical attributes, is their athletic attributes. So if you're a vampire, you got fangs, they're gonna call you a vampire. If you jump around and you hop around a lot, they're gonna call you're like a werewolf. You're hairy, you got a lot of hair, right? And you jump around and shit. You're a werewolf. People are gonna call you werewolf naturally. That's the first thing that's gonna come to mind, because werewolves are attributed. They're always seen as big, muscular. They can jump everywhere. They're wolves, so wolves are naturally agile. So on and so agility puts you in the line of werewolf, right? Looks puts you in the line of vampire. But at the end of the day, you look human. And if you just walk around and you never jump anywhere and you never show your teeth, who's to say what you are? No one can know. Even you don't know, right? Let's say there's no mirrors and you never look at yourself in the mirror, or not even in the puddle. You don't know if you're a vampire or a werewolf. You have no idea. So, like I always say, if a tree falls in the wood and there's nobody to hear it, does it make a sound? And that is the major conundrum with Lucifer, I feel like. And it feels like, sometimes it feels like people are not in the woods, so nobody hears it. Pardon my language. No pun intended, no offense meant. But it does feel like that sometimes on some specific notions. Like the werewolf notion, right? You don't know. Nobody knows. No one knows. I could have been a werewolf this whole time, and I was thinking like, oh yeah, I'm a vampire and blah 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 blah. I could have been a werewolf this whole fucking my whole fucking life. I could have been a werewolf, and I had just fucking no idea, because TV, Interview with the Vampire by Anne Rice, fucking Dracula 2000, Bram Stoker. I don't fucking know. All I know is fangs. And all I know is fangs equal vampire. All I know is 1 + 1 = 2. That's all I know. I don't know nothing else. I don't know nothing else. And that's spirituality in a nutshell. Spirituality in a nutshell is literally I don't know nothing else. That should be the spiritual tagline. Like before walking into a spiritual temple, it should say I don't know shit in front. That's what it should. Seriously, that's what it should say. It's just when you walk into the temple, before walking to the temple, it's to say, "I don't know shit." That's the first thing you should see because it's true. Like you don't know shit. Like you think you know, but you don't know, right? And when you think you know, there's other things you realize you didn't know, and then it's just it never fucking ends, right? It's just there's always stuff. So and anyways, that doesn't mean that you don't know what you know. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that what I'm talking about is the small detail that I mentioned is actually not a cause for concern, but it's more of a cause for awe, right? It's a cause for like, whoa, that's crazy, because it's important to not see it as, oh man, I'm so stupid because I didn't know that, or blah blah blah. No. What you should see is that it's there. That's what's amazing. It's not. It doesn't have anything to do with you being stupid, blah blah blah, or some bullshit like that. No. What's really going on is the fact that notion is there is amazing in itself. That's what's important. And that's what makes me curious too. And then you use your curiosity to delve deeper in it and to look deeper and to find the little trinkets that are laying around. So yeah, man. Like I said, this isn't serious. This is not a reprimand or anything like that. I just felt like I enjoyed both videos that came out from JD Temple and JS Garrett today. I think they was pretty cool. I think it was pretty awesome. They look pretty good too. I did find that they look pretty good tonight for some reason. They were on the 411 for some reason. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's happening. Nobody invited me to the party. so I don't know what's happening. I kind of feel left out. Anyways, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, this isn't. It really isn't a reprimand. It's not. I'm not looking for beef. It's just my opinion. It's just my opinion, and I, it might be a little bit more. Well, I guess the reason why I'm saying this is because, of course, if you follow the apocalyptic aftermath magic science that I've developed, right? You won't have to kill animals. We're not going to kill any animals. Well, I might kill animals, but you don't have to kill animals. It's unnecessary. Well, maybe, you never know what happens, because like I said, it's situational, right? It depends. It's situational. So, you might have to kill an animal, but it's not, you might have to give a sacrifice, but it's not regular. It's not a regular thing. It happens once in once in the blue moon. So, in my magic system, because in my magic system, I'm the apocalyptic aftermath, so I take full responsibility for, I'm the conduit to the power. So everything comes through me, and I release it upon you. So if somebody has to do a sacrifice, it's gonna be me, right? And then that sacrifice will enable me to give you more power, right? So I'm the how do you call that in Christianity again? I'm the scapegoat. I'm the sacrificial lamb. I'm the one on the cross. I'm hanging on the cross. I'm hanging upside down on Lucifer's cross, like a hangman. And through my flesh and blood shall the power of the infernal realm bestow upon you all of your greatest desires and thirst for power and knowledge and whatnot. So, anyways, so yeah, I guess that's why I'm saying that. Not that I think anybody's interested in my form of magic, because I already know. I know I'm being pessimistic here. I'm sorry. It's not my fault. But, the state of the world today, people are a little bit jaded and they're not very in touch with their emotions. And my magic system involves having emotions. Like, it involves emotion, it involves excitement, happiness, some sadness too, or anger, and all. You'll feel all those things. You're gonna feel all those things. It's gonna run you through your fucking paces. And a lot of people don't want that. They just want McDonald's. They don't want to cook. They just want McDonald's. And they don't want to go get the McDonald's. They want the McDonald's being delivered to them. Like, they don't want to walk to McDonald's. They don't want to drive to McDonald's. They want the McDonald's to drive to them, and they don't want to cook. They want McDonald's. So, like, I'm sorry to say, but it's true. That's how people are nowadays. People want some fucking McDonald's, man. They ain't trying to get no fucking Gordon Ramsay shit. You know what I mean? They're not trying to get some cordon bleu. You know what I mean? They're trying to get some fucking McDonald's because it's quick and it's easy and it tastes good. And that's the thing too. I'm not saying like McDonald's is a bad thing necessarily. It's a bad thing for me. It's bad for business. It's bad for business because I believe in my shit and I'm not gonna change anything in it because I know it works. I know it's powerful. I know it can make anybody successful, powerful. Like, it can make you king of the world. God damn it. Like, so, I'm not going to change anything in it. Well, I might change some things, I'm not completely closed off. But, I'm just, all I'm saying is in general, I'm quite happy with the way that I developed this system. I'm quite happy with the path working. If you take a path working with me, I might have had some bad experiences in the past, but I'm not stupid. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I'm pretty sure, like, well, I like to have fun too, more or less, per se. Everybody got a different idea of what fun is, but I try to make it as fun as possible and not too serious. So, like, that's why I really don't give a shit if you don't like the way that I fucking teach shit, because I don't think I'm that bad of a fucking teacher in the first fucking place, because I am very aware that people want McDonald's and my shit is probably not McDonald's, but I did take a couple of tips. I did take a couple things from McDonald's. You know what I mean? It might not be complete McDonald's, but there's some McDonald essence in there. You know what I mean? So, so I really don't care what the fuck people think. If it doesn't fucking pan out, then whatever, fuck off. Like, I don't fucking care. I know my shit fucking works. If you don't want to fucking do it because it's too hard, whatever. I don't fucking care. Like, I ain't changing shit. I ain't changing shit. And if I change something, it's not gonna be powerful anymore. So what's the fucking point? What the fuck? The point is to have power. The point is not to fucking sit there, look like a fucking jackass for eternity. No, the point is to have power. That's what the fucking point is. So anyways, so I really don't care. And I did the best I could to make it more fun and pleasurable and less fucking, because the type of magic I practice is actually fucking Buddhist type shit. Like if I practiced it the way that it was shown to me, then you need to fucking meditate every day and fucking this and that and live like a fucking monk and shit like that, bro. And that shit's hard. I did that shit for a while, bro, and that fucking shit, it took me years, decades. That shit is fucking hard, bro. Like you have to live like that for decades, bro. It's fucked up. For real, bro, it's fucked up, my nigga. Like it's fucked up, bro. Like there's just some rigorous ass fucking training shit. Like, bro, like it wasn't easy for me too. I was very non-compliant to it. Like, you know, to my, I was non-compliant to myself, basically. I was non-compliant to myself because I didn't feel like just sitting there and just fucking meditate for 3,000 hours and shit like that. You know, like that's not who I am. I have a overactive imagination and I have a high level of serotonin in my in my bloodstream. So I feel like doing stuff. I'm patient. I'm a patient, more or less. I'm a patient person. You know, and I am a monk at heart, but I live in the city, and I'm not complaining that I live in the city. Like, I like city stuff. I like entrepreneurialism. I like, you know, all kinds of shit. I like to do things. I like to create. I like to market, promote, and create, and blah blah blah. I like all of it. I like everything. I like to sell things. I like selling things. I like to show up to your door or call you on the phone to try to sell you something. I actually like that shit. Even as a spiritual entity, it brings me joy. It brings me great joy. Especially if I'm selling a service that I believe in. If I'm selling something that I feel like can help your life be better, I enjoy my job quite a lot. I feel no shame or regret to sell you something that will help your life get better. So you know. So anyways, this is just the type of person I'm not saying that I do that all the time. I'm just saying, like, you know, that's the kind of person I am. I can't, that's the reason why I can't sit still, right? Like I have to do something. I have to sell something. I have to, I'm possessed by the soul of capitalism, and it will not let me go. And there's nothing wrong with that, because that's, you know, another thing about, you know, spirituality that people are not ready to get into. But, you know, and it's gonna take, I don't think Spirit has any plans on showing that part of spirituality to the general masses, not from what I'm seeing. I think that form of spirituality is specifically restricted to people that are built like that, and everybody else won't even try to look at it even for a second. And I think that's why Spirit are not trying to teach you these things, because Spirit is very aware that the people that are going through shit right now are a little bit depressed and they don't feel like doing business. But I don't know if I'm just wired differently. I'm just wired a different kind of way. I'm just a weird person like that. But to me, business kind of gets you out of that depression, because you're creating things. And then when I draw, I'm always proud of my drawings, right? Of course, as an artist, as a humble person, you show your drawing to somebody and the person's like, oh man, that's really nice. And you're like, oh, it's not that nice. Oh, I could do better. You know, but you're proud. After you're done doing something, you feel, you know, you're not crazy proud, like fucking, oh yeah, I'm the best. Like, but you're not, oh man, look at this, I did this, you know. And then that's why you go and show it to somebody else, because you're kind of like, man, I did this, look at what I did, you know. And the person's like, oh man, that's really nice. And then you act humble, and you're like, because you don't want to look like a jackass or a jerk, and you're like, oh yeah, you know, yeah, it's not bad, I could have done better, I messed up there, you know, I could work this here a little bit better. But you know, what you did was good, right? So that's why you're showing it. Right? So creativity gets you out of your depressive state, right? The more you create, the less depressive you're gonna be. But the thing is, you don't want to be a hoarder of creativity, because that exists. There's a lot of artists are hoarders. They hoard their creativity, and they're like surrounded by a bunch of shit that they created. They never fucking sell it. It never goes anywhere. It just takes up all the fucking space in their immediate vicinity. And then they're like, I'm depressed. You're depressed because you're fucking living in a bunch of fucking portraits, man, and you don't have room to fucking breathe or walk. That's why you're fucking depressed. Get that shit out of here. Sell all that shit and get it out your fucking house. You're cluttering your mind with yourself in a negative way, bro. You know what I mean? But anyways, I just said that shit. It's gonna fucking fly 5 feet over your head. So anyways, so like I said, man, it's not a big deal. It's not a big issue. I'm not trying to be a dick. I just felt like saying something. I actually enjoyed the videos, you know. But hey, man, if you feel like cursing me, you're not the first one, so get in line. So you know what I mean? Just get in line. There's at least 200 other motherfuckers. Probably there's at least 10,000, 20,000, 40, 50,000 people in line right now to curse my motherfucking ass. So if you feel like doing that, go right on the fuck ahead. I don't give a shit. But like I said, I didn't say that to be disrespectful. I didn't say that just to be like a jerk that has to absolutely have something contrary to say to what you said just because he feels like he needs to, like, you know, like it's stronger than him, so he has to absolutely say something. Oh man, I don't want to agree with him, you know, like, nah, bro. I'm just, you know, it's just a thing. It's my little side opinion about the whole sacrificial thing, and especially, you know, I just made a video talking about apocalyptic aftermath and demonology, how much I love demonology, and people might think that I love fucking killing animals and fucking stabbing them in the fucking eye and shit. Which I do not. You know, which I don't. I really don't. And I'm not saying J.S. Garrett loves that. That's not what I'm saying. You know, that's not what I'm saying. I gotta, you see, that's what, you know, anyways, you gotta always, you know, because people are super sensitive and they take everything, you know, personal and shit. So you always have to fucking, you know, anyway. So, you know, like, you know, it's not, you know, and people will think that of me. They might not think that of you, but they'll think that of me because they see me as the bad guy, because I'm the bad guy. I always say that I'm the bad guy. I love being the bad guy. I appreciate being the bad guy. I don't even want to live my life as the good guy. As a matter of fact, I don't even know what being a good guy is. I love being the bad guy. It's amazing. It's awesome. I don't want peace. I want problems always, you know. So you know, and you know, but the white is black, black is white, and you know, so that means something too. You know, people might see me as the bad guy, and people do see me as the bad guy, and I love being the bad guy. I think it's awesome. I fucking appreciate it a lot. And I find a lot of glory and happiness in in being the bad guy, you know, and I wouldn't have it any other way, you know. I wouldn't have it any other way, man. But because of that, people have preconceived notions. Like I said, they're not gonna see you as somebody that likes fucking killing animals and stabbing them in the eye every fucking night or some shit like that. But they're gonna see me like that because you said that. They're gonna look at me and they're gonna be like, "Oh, I'm sure he fucking this and that and this and that and da 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 da." And maybe it's not even that. Maybe it's not just the rumor aspect of it. It's just the plain old fact. I might lose some potential people that might want to, you know, that might be interested in this whole apocalyptic aftermath shit. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of people that like animals, and they're like, "Well, shit, I like what he's saying, but I don't want to kill no fucking animals. I don't want to fucking kill animals, man. I like animals. I like animals too." Like Lucifer loves animals, man. We do sacrifice from time to time. Even I have to sacrifice from time to time, And that's the fucking story I wanted to talk about. I completely forgot to talk about like an hour ago. So there's this pedophile guy, right? So I did some shit. And then this pedophile guy did some shit, and this pedophile guy, right? And I did the whole thing, and the guy ended up having his legs chopped off. I shit you not. Like, the guy ended up having his leg chopped off. Somebody chopped off, spirits chopped off his fucking legs. Well, I think it was one leg. I don't think it's both legs. So, so Apocalypse Aftermath is pretty vicious. It's pretty vicious. And that's not the only thing, but I'm just going to say that. And that's all I'm going to say. Because some of the things that I do, a lot of people are not going to understand it. And they're going to see me in a different light. And they're going to judge me. And they're going to criticize me. And they're going to be like, you're fucking evil. And how dare you? How could you do that to another human being? And I'd be like, well, it is what the fuck it is. Like, it is what the fuck it is, bro. Like, so, and just the other day, like I said, I made a video. I got a bunch of thumbs down. I don't know, like, that's the weird thing about YouTube. Everybody's like, oh, this and that. They're always throwing fucking knives. YouTube's always throwing knives at you and shit, and call you all kinds of fucking names and shit. You're a fucking pacifist. You're a bitch. You're punk and this like that. But the thing is, bro, like, I did a video just the other day. Okay, so if you're interested, like I did a video just the other day about my hellhound and what he did to another YouTuber. The guy, he's a YouTuber, and he busted this guy's face wide open, broken nose, fucking all kinds of fucking shit. Got totally fucking wrecked, bro. I got some thumbs down. Nobody liked it. People was like, oh, you're violent. And then when you're not violent, people are kind of like, oh, you're a bitch. Like, what do you want? Like, like, I don't understand, bro. Like, I'm fucking confused here, bro. Like, it's either you're a bitch for not being violent, and then when you get violent, people are like, you're still a bitch. You're still a bitch. Even no matter what you do, you're a bitch. Like, there's no way around it. Like, there's no escape from your bitchness. There's no escape. So, anyways, man, I'm kidding. Like, I don't fucking understand, bro. Like, I don't fucking get it. So, and I do talk like Dr. Feelgood, and I like talking like Dr. I believe the shit that you see it as being Dr. I believe what I'm saying. Like, to me, it's like legit fucking magic. Like, I'm being serious. Like, yeah, it does. I'm aware. I know that it sounds like Dr. Feelgood, but that's the fucking preconceived notions that I'm talking about, the fucking mental programming that I'm talking about, bro. There's a wise man that's once said that the greatest things in life are the easiest, right? And even if I told you, you wouldn't believe me. He's fucking right. You have no idea how it's like being a millionaire. It's fucking easy. Being a millionaire is easy. It's super easy. Making money is insanely. It's so easy that's insulting how easy it is, because people killed themselves and killed other people for it, and there's an overabundance. You don't even the thing that you do. Okay, let me since I told Lucifer's secret, let me tell a secret about humanity. I'm gonna throw humanity. If I'm gonna throw Lucifer under the bus, I'm gonna throw humanity under the bus too. You know what I mean? I'm gonna throw everybody. I'm throwing everybody under the bus tonight. No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. I'm throwing humanity under the bus. Okay. Now, money is so easy to make that you need to understand the global elites. You need the plan. The way that the global elites are conducting and controlling us is by blocking the access to money. because anybody can make money. That's how easy it is. It's like a dam. You know, we put dams so that the water don't flood the city. Well, money is the same thing. Money is like water, right? And if you don't put a dam in front of the water, in front of the currency, it's gonna flood the city. And these guys, they don't want that. Because if that happens, they lose power. That's how this shit works. This is how easy money is to make. It's preposterous, disgusting. It makes me want to throw up just thinking about how easy it is to make money. It's disgusting. It's ew. That's how this world works. This world works on the premise of that. But people don't think about that shit. They don't think about that shit. The Illuminati, this, oh yeah, Donald Trump, this, Biden, that. These mother effers are sitting here building up dams, gatekeeping, building dams, banks, gatekeepers, slanderism, tax, building up dams, debt, fraudulent business practices, corrupt officials, not corrupt officials, but corrupting officials, building up dams, blocking the money, blocking the access of money to flood through us. Changing metric systems, because in actuality America's supposed to be working on the same metric system that China has, because the metric system from China makes actually more sense than the Western metric system. In China, money is like water. It looks like water. Money looks like a goddamn fucking matrix screen. Bunch of zeros and numbers everywhere. Makes no damn sense. That's what money is. That's what the world is. We are in the matrix. The Chinese got it right. It looks weird when they paying 20,000 yen for a fucking chocolate bar, but that's what the fuck it worked. It's not about the yen being 20,000, not about the chocolate bar $20,000. It's the actual value. It's the actual energetic level of the chocolate bar. Shit don't cost $1. That's a lie. It's an illusion. Nothing costs $1. That's insane. It's impossible. So anyways, what the fuck was I saying? Anyways, who cares? So yeah, man, I had to throw humanity under the bus, bro. Like I had to throw the humanity. That's how we work. That's how easy it is. And there's a lot of things. So when you're sitting there, you're being Dr. Feelgood, or you call me. I don't know about everybody else that act like Dr. Feelgood if they actually like researched what they're saying and they actually believe what they. Because some people that say Dr. Feelgood shit, it's only because somebody else said it, right? And they have a good attitude about life and they're super positive. It's not because I researched the Dr. Feelgood shit that I say is shit that I've researched. Now I know that that's how it works. Like I'm aware. Like I've researched it, like historically, bro. Like, and that's why I say that shit. So it's not that I'm insulted when people call me Dr. Feelgood, but it's like it stings. It stings a little bit. It stings a little bit because you kind of like, man, I'm not trying to be Dr. Feelgood. I actually believe what I just said, bro. I really do think that's how shit works. Like sincerely, Like, I'm not trying to just make you feel better. Like, what the fuck? I'm gonna get canceled. Yeah. I'm gonna get canceled so far. I'm already canceled. Anyways, but yeah, man, like, so there's a lot of things I say. People are kind of like, Dr. Feelgood, yeah, there he goes again, being Dr. Feelgood, blah blah blah. No, man, I mean, like, sure, yeah, I'm aware that's what it fucking sounds like, but like, it's also fucking true, bro. Like, it's also the truth, man. Like, it's like, oh, it sounds like Dr. Feelgood, but if I tell you that the dark government, whatever the fuck these guys' names are, bro, Illuminati, whatever the fuck, right, are literally blocking, they literally put up a dam in front of money so that the money doesn't flood the entire country. That doesn't sound like Dr. Feelgood now, does it? It's like that joke from South Park, where the little kid goes to the fucking bank. Nobody likes that joke. Nobody likes that joke, right? I think it's hilarious, but nobody likes. And I understand why nobody likes that joke, because that shit happens for real. And if it does happen for real, it fucking sucks, right? But it's kind of funny though. I ain't gonna lie. The little kid Stan goes to the fucking bank. He puts $100 in the bank, and the guy's like, "It's gone." Bro, like 5 seconds later, bro, it's gone. Bye. Like, and so that shit don't sound like Dr. Feelgood, but if I take that and put it on the reverse, now it sounds like Dr. Feelgood. So, you're more ready. So you have to understand, people are more ready to believe the negative aspect of it and live their lives with the notion of the negative aspect. Like, people are comfortable with these guys blocking the money. They're comfortable with it. Don't get it twisted. People are comfortable with the money being blocked. They're okay. They're fine. As long as they have, a roof over their head, a car, roof over their head, they can feed themselves. They don't give a fuck how much money is being blocked. No one fucking cares. No one cares. It's fine. But, no offense, no pun intended. But, like, at the end of the day, it's still being black, right? And you're okay with that notion. But if I come around and tell you, oh man, money, you could be a billionaire in 5 seconds, you'd be like, man, the fuck out of here with that shit. Even though the money's there. That's why I always say. What's the saying again? Money don't grow on trees. Yes, it does. Money does grow on trees. That's exactly where money grows. On trees. That's exactly where it grows, man. It grows on trees, man. So people are okay with negative shit. It's the positive shit that makes them uncomfortable. People don't like it. It's like, yeah, I'm butthurt about it. Yes, okay, yes, I am. I'm butthurt about it. Every time I say this life is the new normal, and I get zero crickets. Crickets. That's what I get. Crickets. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. Crickets. I hear nothing. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. If I talk about fucking Osama bin Laden's fucking trades with the Bush family from 1997 to 2004, everybody's ready to hear that shit. No pun intended, no offense meant. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, because you got to talk about those things too. You can't just be talking about the positive all the fucking time, because there's negative and positive in the motherfucking world. But nevertheless, people are more comfortable with the negative shit than the positive shit. and they are way more comfortable with it. It's like that's the reason why that's the reason why I live in the motherfucking hood. That's the reason why I live in the fucking hood, man. I'm more comfortable with the negative shit than the positive shit. It's real. It's visceral. I can feel it. Right? You put me in positivity, I won't know what to do. I'll probably flip my fucking shit. I'll be like, where's the negativity, man? This is too positive. There gotta be some negativity, man. Nah, I be joking. But for real, like people are more comfortable with negative shit. Even though they don't like negative shit, they're more comfortable with it. They're a lot more comfortable with negative shit than they are with positive shit. A lot more. And yes, it does. I am butthurt about the whole new normal shit because that's something else that I truly believe in, and it's real, and it's true. It's true and it's real. We just had a solar flare. I told you guys about the solar flare. We get more power before the Prince Charles said the shit. I told you guys I like solar flares. Solar flares give me more power. I love solar flare. I've been getting massive amount of power boosts since last year because there's an overabundance of solar flares recently. We get a solar flare every 3 months almost. Every 6 months. Shit wasn't like that before. People was worried about what solar flares might do. It ain't gonna do shit. It just affects the magnetic field of the earth. It just charges it. That's all it does. So if you're a magnetic person and you're getting magnetic charges, well, what the fuck else is supposed to happen? You're gonna get more fucking power, obviously. Duh. I'm being a jackass. I'm being a jerk. Yes. Yeah. You know, being an asshole. But that's just facts. Like, told you guys that shit was gonna give us more power. Then bam, we got more power. I'm not the only one that get power. I feel like I'm just the only one that realizes he's getting more power. Almost. It's like there's like 3 of us that notices the shit, bro. Like, it is what it is. Sense of scale. I've been talking about the sense of scale. Ain't nobody listening. That shit's real too. This is Dr. Feelgood, because everybody got the sense of scale. You're just built like that. That's just what humanity is. That's what being a human is. You're just born with a sense of scale. You're born with a scale. And it's not a justice scale. It's not a justice scale. That scale does not represent justice. That scale represents power. And justice represents power any motherfucking ways, by the way, for the people that didn't know. Quick side note. That scale is not for, that's the Egyptian god. That's the Egyptian god Seth that weighs your heart in the duat. But in the other cultures, the scale I wouldn't say the Hindu culture, actually. I would say in demonology, I'll have to check that out, because I don't know if the Hindu culture actually sees, yes, it does. Yes, it does. Hindu culture, Buddhism, and especially in demonology, your scale, especially Luciferianism, as of somebody that is undertaking a path working with Lucifer, that scale is your power. It's yourself. It's you. Just like all the other artifacts and arcanums from the tarot, a part of it is you. right? Like the cup. The cup is you. The scale is you. You can become deaf. The lovers. The lovers is you. You're the lover. You're all the cards. You're the chariot. You're the fortune. You're the mage. You're the page. You're the emperor. The empress. You're all of those things, all wrapped up, all in one. And those things fluctuate. They fluctuate because you can be a mage one day and the other day you're a king. You're an empress. You're an emperor or a page. And then you go right back to another thing. I mean, you can choose to be like that, or you can be one track minded. People that are one track mind, they're one thing all the time. Right? But if you're not a one track mind, you're going to be, you can, if you choose to, if you let yourself be multiple things at the same time. It's a choice. And it's not just that. The sense of scale also represents like your influence in reality. Sometimes your vibration is high, your influence reaches far, and sometimes it doesn't. And it fluctuates all through the day. Not in 5 years, not in 7 months or 7 days, all through the day. Throughout your 24 hours, there are periods in time where you are more powerful, and there's other periods in time where you are less powerful. Kabbalah. And it's still your choice. Even those times where you're less powerful, it's still your choice. Sometimes you choose to belittle yourself. Sometimes you choose to belittle yourself. Sometimes you choose to humble yourself. And sometimes you choose to be like, fuck that. You know what I mean? I'm out here. You know what I mean? Like that happens too. Yeah, today I was watching something. The guy said, Jesus never said that we were gods. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. White on black. Original King James version. The King James version, most of the version, I didn't check because there's 50 versions of the Bible. But the most popular versions that people read in all of those books, he says it. He said, we are all gods. Of course, he was trying to save his butt from being lapidated. So who knows how who knows how truthful that was, but you know, like, nah, I'm kidding. I don't think it was a lie. I do believe that's a thing. I do believe that some people are higher in the hierarchy, and that's another thing that the global elites are working on destroying. Hierarchy. The global elites do not want, and the thing is, they actually found a way. They made this. It's not that clever, but to the general masses, it is. But I don't think it's that clever. It's actually very transparent. It's almost pathetic, but it works. But they found a way to make even good people and regular people believe that they don't like hierarchy. They found a way to make people believe that hierarchy is evil, when the hierarchy is just a natural process of living. It's natural selection. If you look at nature, the lion is the king of the jungle. He's big, he's dangerous. He gets all the ladies. You know, he gets all the ladies, bro. It's not, there's a hierarchy. It's normal. Even in the animal kingdom, and people believe that they're more intelligent than animals, and even animals understand the simple, because it is. People make you believe that hierarchy isn't a simple notion, but it is a simple notion. Animals that are not that smart, allegedly, understand something as complicated as hierarchy. Because it is kind of complicated too at the same time, but it depends. You know, especially when you're talking about like magicians versus humans. You know, who tops who, right? But at the same time, I believe hierarchy is, like I said before, natural selection. Right? I don't think somebody that is, it's like the lion, that nobody needs to tell the lion that he's a lion. He's born a lion. He knows he's a lion. He's a lion. You can't go tell a lion that he's a chicken. You know, that's just, it's not gonna happen. If he could, he'd probably laugh at you for even trying to do that, right? So I don't believe people need to actually make it known that that's their level in the scale. I mean, who you are is who you are. I can tell that you're on that level, but just by looking at you. Look at the way you dress, look at the way you act, look at the things you do, the things that you're involved in. Analyze you. If I analyze you, if I take the time to analyze you, I'm gonna know who you are. Like a lion doesn't need to go around telling everybody, hey, I'm a fucking lion. You know, I'm a fucking lion, dude. Hey, check this out, I'm a fucking lion. You know, like, the lion doesn't do that. No, he just sits there and he's a fucking lion, and that's it. And he's born a lion and he dies a lion. Just like elephants. Nobody's gonna tell an elephant that he's a fucking elephant. A giraffe. And then there's monkeys. And lemurs. And koalas. And insects. Domesticated animals. Wildlife. There's a hierarchy. Not just because of their strength and different powers. They all have different attributes. But it's just they know their place. They just know their place. They know what they can do. They know what they can't do. And they survive off of that. And they adapt to their environment based off of that. You know, so all that to say is, like, you know, that sense of scale is the hierarchy in itself. That sense of scale is the hierarchy. The non-belief of a hierarchy is the reason why you don't see your sense of scale. Because you don't like the notion that the Illuminati doesn't want people to live with the notion, don't want society to live. The government's guilty of that too. The government and the Illuminati doesn't want society to live in the notion that they could be better than them. Right? At the end of the day, there is no government. In the Apocalypse Optimath belief system, magic system, I will teach you that you are the government. That there is no such thing as the government doesn't exist. It's a figment of your imagination. You will become a government. You might not become king like me. I'm being an asshole, yes. You might not become king like me, but you will become a government. I can't guarantee you that, but I almost feel like guaranteeing you that you will become a government. You will have more political power than politicians. When you become an apocalyptic opsomath, what you say goes. It doesn't matter what the fuck is going on, what you saw in the news and whatnot. No one gives a shit. When you're an apocalyptic opsomath, you're the one that decides what's going on, regardless of what people think. It's not 100%. It doesn't work all the time, but it works a lot. You'd be amazed. It's just, when you're an apocalyptic opsomath, you're one with everything. You're a nexus of all that is. And you can decide to reach through these. Well, that's too complicated. I'm not gonna start explaining this shit right here, bro. Like, those are kind of things that you need to show, and you need to see it to believe it. And I did enough on YouTube for people to believe it. I think the problem is that people think I'm Illuminati. I think that's what the problem is. People think, like, they see my magic, they see the shit that I do, and it kind of looks, it's a little bit sus. It's a bit sus. So people think like I'm fucking Illuminati. I think that's what it is. Because I did enough. I was violent enough. I was violent enough, bro. Right? I was violent enough. You know, I don't know if I was funny enough, but I try to be. You know, I feel like I was smart enough. I don't wanna, you know, yeah, right. I don't wanna spank my own belt here. I mean, but I don't wanna pop my own collar. But I feel like I was smart enough. You know, I feel like I explained things well enough, right? So, you know, like there's you become powerful, man. Apocalyptic opsomath will make you powerful. It will make you into a government. You will become a government.